Hi everybody, welcome back to another blog update for the Rotary Bob project. So I know what you're all thinking, Bobby, why do you look so pale and washed out? Well, for one, I keep my window covered in the garage for winter, just to try to keep some of the heat in. So the lighting in the garage is a little weird, so I looked a little washed out. But it's also just my face. I missed last week. Last week was weird. There were numerous reasons why it was weird. We won't get into that. So I apologize for missing basically an entire week. I didn't do a vlog. I didn't do hardly any progress posts. Not a whole lot. There's been a couple of things, small things, that tend to, when not dealt with, obviously they grow legs, they learn to walk, and then they run. And it seems like all these small things have kind of grown legs all at the same time. And then they decide to have a race, so it's been a bit of a weird time for me. I'm not too fond of it. Hopefully things kind of come around sooner or later. But I've been finding a little bit of quiet, I guess, in this project. It's nice to kind of come out to the garage by myself and putter away. Tends to quiet the monkey fight a little bit, but obviously when the monkeys are quiet, they're just plotting to make things more difficult, so doesn't completely shut them up. So it's been nice to have this to kind of revert back to and to kind of take my mind off things. So so thank you for giving me this outlet, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those fun things, to take my mind off things. But yeah, it's just been weird. Things are weird, very weird, but that's okay. We'll push on. With regards to the project, so I started stripping down my engine block, removing the intake manifold, making very silly little mistakes with the monkey fight going on in the background. You tend to overlook the obvious, which I did the other night. Like, I was taking the upper manifold half off, and man, bloody thing wouldn't come off. I was at my wit's end. I probably spent about 3 hours wondering why I can't get the silly manifold off. I kept looking and looking to see if there was another bolt or something that I wasn't undoing underneath, and looking, and so what I've been doing is, as I'm taking things apart, I try to remember, I label them if I know what they are. I try to mark them, and if it's something I'm taking off and then I'm left with hardware, a bolt or a nut or something like that, I try to put it back to where I removed it from. A couple reasons. I want to protect any threads, plug any holes, and also I don't want to lose the hardware for when I'm putting everything back together. So I had a couple of bolts on top of the manifold, and in all honesty, I had thought that I had taken them all out and put them back in. So I kept looking at these bolts, these 3 bolts, and no, that's not it. And looking on the manifold, no, underneath, that's where the fuel rail connects, and this and that, and I'm looking. And I finally, I call it a night. So I go back inside, and I remember I actually have the workshop manual for this car, so it's quite literally a step-by-step disassembly, reassembly, much more complete than, say, a Haynes manual So I quickly flipped through to the section of the book that has the engine turbo disassembly. And lo and behold, there's a bolt that goes from the top of the manifold and connects to the lower half of the manifold. And it was in that cluster of 3 bolts. So 2 of them actually were bolts that I had taken out and put back, but the other one I hadn't touched. So I've been making a lot of silly mistakes like that. Overlooking the obvious. I guess that's what happens when you're kind of not in the right, we'll call it headspace, and you're working on something to kind of take your mind off things. You tend to make little silly mistakes, which I have been doing. So that's neither here or there. Well, it is here or there. I mean, that doesn't make sense. See what I mean? Like, I'm not really with it. Yeah, I just weird headspace. Weird monkey fight. Yeah, monkey fight going on in the background of my head, seemingly constant. But hopefully that'll all change. I'm hoping relatively quick. I'm one of these people that likes to immerse himself into work. So work for me is supposed to be kind of kicking off and getting a little bit busier next week. So I'm really hoping that will kind of help a little bit. But we'll see. If it doesn't, we'll have to look at other options. But anyway, so yeah, I'm actually. Time is it? Yeah, I'm enrolled in a course, actually, an online course of basically how to tune your engine 101 with standalone engine management. So I'm going to be doing that kind of tonight. Looking forward to it. I've always had an interest in it. It's going to be one of the harder parts about this project is when I actually get to the tuning part. But doing that, and then yeah, I'm going to continue stripping down the engine block. I've got some pretty neat things in the works. But we're as I'm disassembling this thing, I'm finding a couple more gremlins, undesirables, I'm going to call them, which could add substantial costs to the engine build. Not happy about that, but you win some, you lose some. I mean, it's just money, right? So I'm going to keep stripping that down. I'll hopefully have it done by the end of this week. And then I'll throw together a little video of stripping it down to the block. And then I'll probably do another engine teardown video, except I'll try to do it a little bit more in depth. Like, I'll try to describe what I'm doing, see how that goes. And yeah, so I think that's everything. I think we're kind of caught up for 2 weeks. 2 weeks worth of fun, even though last week wasn't really much of anything. Yeah, cool. Well, again, thank you everybody for kind of taking the time out of your day to watch me ramble on. This the last update was pretty happy-go-lucky, and this one just shows how quickly things can kind of change. But yeah, thanks again everybody for taking the time out of everybody's busy day and watching these videos or getting halfway through them or whatever. So yeah, I just can't say thank you enough for all the support. So thanks again, guys. And until hopefully next week, I don't miss another week. I'm Bobby with the Rotary Bot Project. So see you later.